back like we never left. Welcome to Pub Sports MMA. Shout out to everybody that joined us last night for Contender Series. We pulled off a heist, don't tell nobody. But we are back for the UFC 330 betting show. Big old card. I got the homies here, Billy, Joey, Big Show holding it down backstage. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all come up in here, smash the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. How we feeling this evening, boys? How we feeling about 330?
Yeah, I'm excited for 330. I had some other events come up. Unfortunately, I'm not going, but hey, that just means I'll be tuning in Saturday with y'all, 5 p.m. Don't be late because we all looking to make money for UFC 330. Had a successful card last week. Straight bets really didn't hit too much, but good thing I followed the parlay with Njokuani, Asplin, Miller, and Thinora, and that was the main parlay that saved my night. How about you, Billy?
It was a really good weekend. Hit the underdog of the night in what was it? His name, Jose Montana, and we had the submission prop on stream plus 350, round one submission plus 800, and then the Miller Light parlay hit. We talked about that on the podcast. That ended up hitting pretty easily. Ty Miller ended up hitting by knockout. I mean, makes me become a silver and gold member. I mean, there was just a plethora of winners that were in the Discord last weekend. Like literally I lost one bet and it was Gamrot and Sal killed over 2.5 total rounds. Literally every other bet that I put in Discord hit.
Yeah,
so
shout out to you,
Billy. Become a silver and gold.
For sure, man. Shout out to you for all the plays you've been dropping in the Discord, dude. Good stuff. Well, why don't we kick this thing off here, boys? We start things off with what looks to be on paper like a pretty entertaining Clayton Joyka, Mick Tebek Orolbai versus Jeremiah Wells. What up, Sherm? What are you doing, man? Shout out to you for joining us once again. Hope you're having a good evening. Yeah, Orolbai and Wells, boys. I am going to start off with my dude, Billy Briz. What do you think about this? The line? Do you have action? What do you think about this first one, dude? What up, GOAT?
So
did we? Is Billy frozen, dude? Damn it!
Yeah, so
all right, Joey. Why don't you kick this thing off until Billy comes back?
I got you, Billy. If you're hearing us, turn on your Wi-Fi if you forgot to do so, good sir. But man, I like going. I tend to like to go for my Philly guys here. This is the first time I'm actually seeing the live price now.
Shout out to Big Show Picks for the 440 Jules Unk Alert Dono. Appreciate you, dude. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Handy and the Great as well. I'm sorry, Joey. Go ahead.
No, you're good, brother, man. If those alerts come up, shit always cut me the fuck off. Hey, for the people, we appreciate y'all. We wouldn't be here without y'all. But god damn, when I heard this was like the biggest line of the night, and I was like, what is it? -5, -6? No, it's a -1,000. And then I'm like, who the hell is my boy Jeremiah Wells fighting? It's the caveman himself, Orolbai. And look, I like Wells. He's going to be dangerous early, but I feel like the second Orolbai grabs him and takes him to the ground, man, I think Orolbai's going to get him down, get some good work, and I feel like he's going to be live to finish him at any point in this fight. But my guess is under 1.5.
Yeah, I kind of lean towards Orolbai. I don't think Jeremiah Wells' takedown defense is going to cut it, man. 50%, nah, that ain't going to work against Orolbai. Like, every fight he's won, except for the one that he finished early by knockout, he gets multiple takedowns. I don't know if he's going to get 19 or anything, but I don't know if he'll necessarily need that either. Like, I do give Wells a puncher's chance, so I'm not just rushing to parlay -1,000. I think that's kind of a fool's errand over the long run, but I do think Orolbai wins. I might look at the inside the distance if I was going to do anything, but right now I might just sit tight. I do like Mick Tebek, though. Shout out to Billy. He's having some technical difficulties working through that. And Big Show donating 550 joules, saying stay hydrated. Shout out to you, man. Shout out for emptying out that jewel purse. Appreciate you, Bo. But yeah, man, I do like Mick Tebek. Again, inside the distance, if anything, for me. Like, I don't want to get cute with -1,000. If I can find some plus money, I guess maybe. But Billy, mic check 1 2 1 2. Glad to see you come through once again, man. How are you?
Doing all right. Jeremiah Wells was supposed to fight in May. I don't know if you remember that story. He was supposed to fight Nicholas Dalby. Dalby ended up having an injury. They give Jeremiah Wells a short notice replacement. He declines the fight. Now he's the only Philadelphia fighter on the whole entire card, and he's plus 650. That tells me that bro might be in the doghouse. This is a terrible stylistic matchup versus Orolbai, who set the welterweight takedown record in his last fight against Chris Curtis, in a camp where he endured Ramadan, so he wasn't even at full strength. So it's like one of those ones where like Orolbai has the ability to kind of control the chaos compared to Wells. And Wells is more like finisher bust. He doesn't have a win over a current fighter on the UFC roster. So I kind of lean towards Matejbek Orolbai. If you guys are in the silver and gold members for the Discord, sent out that parlay last night with the 2 chalk guys from last night with the 3 chalk favorites on this one. This line has moved from minus 590 all the way up to minus 1,000 already from Sunday to Wednesday.
Nice, dude. Big up Justin V in the chat. Welcome back, my friend. Yeah, I don't know about that, but speaking about sketchy, not only wins, but losses too. I was going back and looking at Ramiz Brahimaj's portfolio, resume, if you will, and it is not very good. The wins and the losses, it's just not very good. 3 years ago, this is easy Neil Magny click. He's 39, dude. But he's got pretty like decent wins even recently over younger fighters. I don't know, dude. Billy, tell me what to do with this fight, man.
It's a weird one because like Neil Magny, history-wise, for this weight class is the best gatekeeper there ever was for the welterweight division. It's just that it still doesn't ignore some of the grappling deficiencies that we've seen from Magny, being submitted basically in damn near back-to-back fights. And he was submitted against Jake Matthews, let's call it a spade, and he was submitted by Yamasev Amasov in that last one. So it's like Brahimaj is a one-trick pony, but like the one trick that he does is really fucking good. Former no-gi gold medalist. So I don't know, man. I feel like he's made improvements since he's going to Valley Flow. I know he's coming off a loss in this last fight. I kind of lean towards Brahimaj, but I don't know if I'm going to go to the window with it. The only thing that's making me hesitant is he's 0-5 in decisions, which is like a huge red flag.
Joey, got any confidence here on Ramiz, or is you gonna go old man Magny one more time?
Man, there's been so many fights I wanted to go Magny. It wasn't Amasov. I knew that was a setup. It wasn't Matthews because I thought Matthews was maybe gonna outbox him more, but not submit him. I picked him versus Dos Santos, battle of the old guys. Prates is Prates. You see where Prates is. Morales, you see where Morales is. I don't think Brahimaj has good striking at all. His technique looks terrible. His pure takedowns ain't the greatest if he can't body lock you. But as Billy said, it could be if he gets a hold of you, backpack, any level, he can be live for a sub. But I'm going with the old vet. I'm going with the man, Neil Magny. I think he can survive early. And once it does have range, I think his jab and his overall footwork's going to give Brahimaj later problems going into the later fight. Maybe a round 3 finish too. Round 3 or decision for Magny. But I think if it's early, I think Brahimaj could look for the sub. I'm going with the dog, Neil Magny.
I think this is a few years ago. I think Magny would probably be the outright favorite, honestly. I don't think it would look like this. It does feel like Magny or pass, but Magny might end up being a certain thing that is not good. Be on the lookout for that PSA, but put a pin in that. And yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Justin says I wasn't on them, but I'm leaning Neil and Luque. We might get early dogs, and then the card will settle in Maine, maybe more decisions. We will see, man, and hope to see you there as well on Saturday. But we can charge forward here into what seems like a pretty good sort of a striker versus grappler-esque. Both guys can do a little bit of both, but I would say Fernando is probably the better striker. Tobias probably the better grappler. Joey DFS, why don't you kick this one off, bud?
Yeah, I remember Fernando. He got knocked out versus Cesar Almeida back in the day on Contender. Oh, it's a decision. Never mind.
Decision loss.
Decision. All three of his losses are by decision. I do think he's the better striker when it comes to range. But if you hear that, my dog's barking. But I think the dog is live in this fight too. Like, I know he didn't show too much promising strikes versus Njokuani, but watch his Contender Series fight. What's the very first thing he did? He looked to strike, and once he got a hold of you, he threw you to the ground. If he can definitely mix in takedowns, he's a live dog. And I do think the winner of this fight does get a finish, either Fernando by knockout, Tobias, maybe somewhere on the ground inside the distance. I'm undecided, but I'll slightly lean the dogs. I don't agree with the price tag.
What do you think, Thor? Let him know.
What do you think, Thor?
Billy, Billy, what do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, Dana White Contender Series is always a tricky proposition because sometimes, I mean, this is like a prime example. I was really high on the tape in the film that I saw of Lucas Fernando before his Dana White Contender Series fight, lost the Dana White Contender Series fight. Then he lost his next fight after the Dana White Contender Series. It just ended up being against Azamat Bakov, and I didn't know who the fuck Bakov was at the time. Since then, he's been on a 4-fight winning streak, and you kind of look at Rafael Tobias, the dude that he fought in the Dana White Contender Series was a fucking bum. He was like a minus 550 favorite, and he finished him like he was supposed to. And then his UFC debut against Daur Nurzaganai was just red flags all over the place. I kind of lean towards Lucas Fernando, but fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I guess I'm the dumbass. I don't think he'll be in the top ticket of my parlays, but I think he wins this fight.
So I bet the dog. That was the first bet that I pulled the trigger on. I got him plus 240. It's striker versus grappler. Fernando is a better striker. I've seen him defend takedowns and reverse them into an advantageous position. Tobias, definitely, like Billy said, did not look great against Njokuani, but like, I don't think a loss to DR is like that much worse than a loss to Bakoyev. You know what I'm saying? And like, Cesar Almeida, what is he? Fucking 3-3? Like, is that the fucking best loss in the world either? So I get why Fernando's the favorite. He's a better striker. I think he's a little bit quicker. But what is Tobias like 23, 24? I think we could see him look better here. I do think he's a better grappler. That line's just too wide. I had to do it. Plus 240. That's the first bet I made. He is at over 2-1. I'll take my chances on that. Shout out to you, Gabe, man. Good to see you. Give me the guy that has a letter A in his last name for this fight. Well, let's go. That's Tobias, Bo. Let's ride. But yeah, good. Should be a good fight. Good test for both of them. And speaking of tests, this next fight here, Vicente Luque, as I heard one guy pronounce it one time back in the day. Vicente Luque versus Tresean Gore. Billy, what do you think here, Bo?
Yeah, I mean, Luque's been silencing the haters like myself about that brain bleed back in 2022. Moved up 15 pounds in his last fight. Looked great against Kevin Gastelum. Has really tapped in towards his grappling. While he's always been a submission threat throughout his career, it's really like he's like opting towards that being his like main game plan in these fights. And it's just like Luque's only one loss has ever came to like a non-ranked fighter of like basically like he's only had one loss to a non-ranked fighter. This is a huge step up a level of competition for Tresean Gore, where like he's more of a late bloomer in MMA, but I don't know, man. I'm not buying it. I get he got the huge upset in his last fight against Bakoyev, but I think that I'm not a big experience gap guy, but I think the experience gap is just a little bit too wide here, man. I think Vicente Luque should be the betting odds favorite. I think that the fact this fight is a pick'em is telling you everything you need to know. I'm not getting my hand caught in the cookie jar here betting on Tresean Gore.
Joey DFS, penny for your thoughts.
Yeah, I had my buddy from RotoWire ask me who I liked on this fight. I was like, man, I thought dog or pass, but I didn't. I was like, maybe because Gore, you know, he shows later on fights he doesn't give up. He's durable. He's gonna fight for your money. But everything in me said I thought Luque was gonna be like maybe like a 180, almost 200 favorite. I don't understand the dog tag, so I was like, I thought maybe I was getting a better price tag on Gore. But god damn, like why do I feel like? And maybe this is a sneak peek. I don't know. I haven't looked at topology. I think everyone named Mama might be on Luque. And that might be one of those weird typology dogs, which I'm not trying to predict, but man, like he didn't. Who did he fight his last fight? A chubby, out of shape Gastelum, which, good lord, that was terrible. And Gore's gonna fight for your money. I currently don't have the best pick. I'm probably gonna stay away, but for some reason, I feel like this is gonna be a trap. I think Gore could win another one, but no, like take it to the window.
What up, Dirty Reg? He said, I respect Gore's hustle as of late. He says, give me the try hard Gore. I respect all of that. I think that's a fair take. And Gore, I was talking a little bit to Aaron the dog. Shout out to him a little bit earlier. And like, yeah, he what he said was something that I agree with, in that Gore, like out of nowhere, all of a sudden he just wins one he's not really supposed to. But like, dude, you look. He's another one, kind of like Ramiz Brahimaj. First of all, he's a losing fighter. He's a 3-4 fighter in the UFC. What up, I'm Raven? This dude made Cody Brundage look like a fucking bruiser. Like, he got one punched by Cody Brundage. If Cody Brundage can smoke you like that, Vicente Luque might fuck you right off, dude. But... and I did it, man. I had to bet Vicente Luque. I caught it at plus 105, but it is crashing like I thought it probably should. And Luque might be mush. Joey trying to spoil my gimmick here. Yes, so shut the fuck up, Joey. But no, man. Y'all see what time it is. Like Gore should not probably have been outright favored. You do look at Luque's losses, and they like you have to go all the way back to his debut against Michael Graves to find a loss that's on this level. Like, don't be surprised if he makes it look like the fucking Thimba fight and just like show like when Luque does get someone that's not on his level, he's a little bit spiteful about that shit, and Gore might just feel Luque's wrath. He might feel a little bit disrespected like that, but that line is moving. So.
And he's a New Jersey, and don't forget about that. Luque might have the Brazilian flag, but he be repping the New Jersey. So
regardless of what Joey did or didn't say, pay attention to what. No, it's all right. You don't worry about that, because Luque, he might not end up being the dog by the end of this week. Like, he is very close. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like. He should not have been the underdog, I don't think. And this line is moving very, very quickly. So catch as best you can. Catch up with the chat here. Abster, what up, dude? He said, I took Luque plus money. Yeah, dude, he was like plus 135, and it is just crashing. Like, he's going to be the favorite probably by tomorrow, honestly. Dirty Reg, I can't blame you for taking plus money in this spot. Fight could go either way. I used to hate Gore, but it was last seen the light bulb go off with him. Yeah, he's definitely looked better recently, for sure. Billy, what do you think about Dante Johnson and Eric McConico, my dude?
So this one is for the model bros. I'll probably post this one in Discord. This fight is classified in my model as a age gap deficiency fight. Here are some stats from this specific model. Fighters since 2024 with a 9+ year age gap advantage have gone 78, 27 and 1 in the UFC, which is basically a 74% hit rate. So basically, in other terms, out of 106 fights in this sample size, the younger fighter has won 78 times. And when narrowing down the sample size to just the middleweight class this year, those fighters have gone 5-0. Zooming out to 2024, if you add Dylan Bucka's fights in those samples, they've gone 6-3. But I mean, when the fuck are we ever betting on Dylan Bucka? So I'm just gonna chalk this. I put this in Discord last night. Had some chalk with Dante Johnson. I think Dante Johnson wins this fight. Not the highest on the price tag, but we're gonna trust the model, man. The model's been printing. Like, the numbers never lie, and the 9-year plus age gap thing is enough for me. Dante Johnson.
So before I go to Joe, I want to shout out the chat real quick, specifically MMA Locker Room Millz. Shout out to Millz. He was part of that Abe Alcigir heist we pulled off last night. That's the one. That's the thing you don't tell anybody about, Joey. But shout out AOD, man. Good to see you, my dude. Joey, what do you think about Dante Johnson and Eric McConico, my friend?
Man, as a guy, I like Eric McConico. I remember he was my first live stream Planet Flag, and he funny enough, beat Cody Brundage. I remember betting McConico beating Rodolfo Vieira. So I was like, man, if he's got a takedown, I think he's the better striker. And that's what he did. He was the better striker in that matchup. I know I was more on the sour side. I had Dante Johnson inside the distance versus Cody Brundage. He didn't get it. And guess what? He let the fans know saying, don't bet me inside the distance, motherfucker. That's why you lost money. Just bet on me. I don't give a shit. Fuck your parlays. Exactly what he said. But, man, this seems like a setup spot to where maybe somewhere round 1, round 2, I think Dante could potentially land that big shot and rock McConico. So, yeah, I'm going back to the window. I agree with Billy. I'm going Dante, but I think he can get the knockout.
See, that's what gives me a little bit of pause, because I do think it's like 50-50. He gets a knockout. He wins a very dominant decision. McConico might have a puncher's chance, but that's about it. I do think Johnson's the better fighter overall. I do think he wins, but it's like, I don't want to try and like, what up, Aaron? Shout out to you, man. I don't want to try and get cute with a method of victory. The line isn't really that stupid. So like if you have a 3-piece, that's a, slightly parlayable line. But again, like, I don't know. I think it maybe should be a little bit closer, but I don't know. I'm just not as high on Johnson as other people are, but I do think he wins. I don't think McConico is very good. But Aaron says, what up, boy? Gillian going to be a champ Saturday. Bet red is what the fellow says. Justin says Johnson body looks way more, looks going to come to catching up to him with a good fighter. Yeah, for sure. Now, everybody went on that one, right? I don't want to skip it, everybody. Billy, what do you think about Skullet versus Jose Ochoa?
This isn't.
I'm sorry. It's your boy Chapelain. He fighting Chapelain. What do you think about Johnson versus Chapelain?
Let Joey go on this one. I mean,
Joey, hit him with it.
Yeah, so I was hoping for this guy to get signed off Dana White. He didn't. But this guy, former LFA flyweight champ, he went on the tough. Unfortunately, he ran onto the winner versus Joe Morales, and Joe Morales has been actually looking a lot better since he got back in. He's well-rounded. He got good striking. He can mix in combinations. And one thing that's finally showing, and he showed it on his Dana White fight, a lot of people are saying, oh, you're a good grappler, but you had no takedowns. Not from what I've seen on Dana White. This man, he worked his way, transferring himself to Daniel Cormier's gym, and it truly showed his takedowns are really improving. So I think he'll need his takedowns here for Charles Johnson. I'm curious what the line will be when the line comes out. I have no idea. I'm actually going to go with the short notice guy in Gerardo Henrique. I think his striking's still good. I think he's going to bring forward pressure. I think he's going to get the takedowns on Johnson, and I feel like he's going to win a close decision. So I got to see what the tag is. No price, but I'm going with the short notice guy and Henrique.
Billy, you going to make it 2 in a row for Chapelain, or is it going to be the Skullet Master getting it done, we think?
Damn it. No feel, no vibe. No feel, no vibe for me for this one. I got to tape this. This just came out like a couple hours ago that this was a fight announced.
What up, Sick from the Vol, man? Shout out to you. Last time I checked, Charles Johnson was 99% favorite on. I mean, is that crap? I mean, it's something, all right. The answer is no. I will not be betting this fight. I'm with Billy. I got nothing to say. No real good read or vibe or feel or any kind of shit like that. No, I don't like betting Charles Johnson fights. I'm not good at picking Charles Johnson fights. He's another guy that just wins when he's supposed to lose and loses when he's supposed to win. Shout out to you, man. No, it's all good. Justin says where the Avengers or Deadpool and Wolverine Dern timeline shouldn't exist. Are you saying this is a parallel universe kind of situation? Yeah, nothing on that one. And honestly, I have nothing on this one either, man. I think Joe Alvarez wins again, where it's kind of like, that's not a stupid line. It ain't even minus 300. I think Alvarez wins, like Chidi, puncher's chance. He's going to be too slow, though. Alvarez, way better grappler, especially if he's the one on top. Chidi does have a little bit of grappling, but unless he hurts him in front, chokes him, I don't really see much for Njokuani here. I think there is a pretty crazy athleticism and speed advantage for Joel Alvarez. So I do like him to win, but again, maybe parlay. I don't fucking know. Billy, what do you think here?
Yeah, one of those ones like durability and grappling deficiencies are literally the two main concerns for Chidi Njokuani, and those are like the main things that Yoel Alvarez has like major advantages in. So it's like they're both comparable in height. Yoel is superior in the grappling, and damn, both of their cardios are kind of ass. So it's like, yo, Chidi doesn't really have any advantages outside of like landing a big strike. I think he gets submitted early here if you're kind of like iffy about the side. Maybe the under 1.5 is the play here in this one as you get the Chitty randomness knockout early or something like that. But I think Yoel Alvarez finds a submission off the first takedown.
You know, Billy, just hearing you say that, like maybe I look at Alvarez, ITD. Chidi does have a quit button if you can find it. Joey, what do you think here?
Signed, sealed, delivered. I know this is short notice for Alvarez, but he's not fighting Amosov in his last fight. And we've seen Chidi get submitted with ease versus Jake Matthews. I think Alvarez is the better striker. I feel like he's the better grappler than Matthews, and I feel like he can be a similar type of thing. And I actually do like the under 1.5, especially if you can get that plus money. I think Alvarez could clip him and get him on the cage, maybe TKO, maybe sub. So I'll probably have more inside the distance.
Yeah, I don't know. My look at inside the distance, but that would be about it. I am Raven says Alvarez wins, too well rounded. Yeah, I tend to agree as well. This next one is kind of weird. Like, this is weird that it's on a main card or even close to a main card. Is this still the prelims? This is a wild main card. Like, this is 30 versus 40. Joey, save me from Esteban Ribovics and Edson Barboza, please.
Yeah, I know for the longest time Barboza did train out towards like Philly and New Jersey for a bit, but for him going out to, I believe, Florida now, for American Top Team, man, like I thought he retired after the Jalen Turner fight personally, but this looks like, and I'm gonna probably repeat this for the next couple fights. This looks like a reboundable win for Ribovics, to where, yeah, Barboza's live with the striking, but once you touch him, he does get damage. He does get wobbled. He does get rocked, and I think this is a Ribovics finish.
Billy, Barboza, Esteban.
Yeah, this is like a UFC stat nerd type of fight. There's a glaring difference in one specific main category, and it's their strikes at distance. Ribovics throws 16.1 strikes per minute at distance, which out of 198 lightweights on octagonmetrics.com, he ranks the highest. In comparison, the second highest person is like 19% away. So if you look at Barboza, he's trending down in each fight. So the work rate difference here is just going to be too massive. The experience is the only thing Barboza can really lean on, but even at that, he's been finishing 5 out of 9 lightweight fights. So it doesn't really bode well for confidence for back in Barboza, even though this is a crazy underdog price tag. But I'm just going to lean towards stats. Stats say Ribovics finds like a round 2 finish.
Yeah, I do. I wish it was a little bit tighter. Like, I would love if Ribovics was around like where like Johnson is. So yeah, exactly. Joel Alvarez kind of line. I would love it if he was right there. That'd be the perfect anchor for like a 3-layer. What up, Wine Time, man? Shout out to Wine Time Sports. Make sure you check out him and old Spoon Doggy Spoon's bets on walk-off wagers every Saturday, 10 p.m. Pub Sports Radio, dude. Shout out Pub, shout out Slaughter. Man, yeah, Ribovics, Wine Time. Thank you for the 440 joules. Unk alert. Let's go, man. Full unk status around here. Let's go. Now, yeah, Barboza again, a few years ago, maybe. This is 40 versus 30. It's Ribovics. Ribovics for me. Again, do I want Esteban Ribovics as my anchor? I don't want that. Might end up being that. Only one way to find out. Tune in Saturday, and Silver and Gold members, I do have my bets already in the Discord before this thing started, and we'll add more as I go. What up, AJ Stogsdill? Poor Wells. Yeah, he might be in for it. But yeah, did everybody go? Did I miss somebody, Joey?
No, we all went. We're good.
Oh, cool. Gabe Bowlers, 1,000 joules. GOAT trophies, what the fella says, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, we can roll on, I guess. I got nothing for that. Might have nothing for this next one, too. Mansur Abdul-Malik and Dustin Stoltzfus. Joey.
Man, I just said it for the Ribovic fight. I'm going to say it for this one. I remember picking against Malik for one of my favorite flags of the year with Gore. And, man, that's feeding me good that weekend. But this is more of a, hey, man, you fought all right. You took your first L. Let's see what you do against a guy who, man, he loses to guys like this. Both of his losses are in round 1 by KO. And I think Malik, what's Stoltzfus going to do? He's going to try to get a hold of him? No. He's going to be out strength. At one point or another, round 1, round 2, I think Malik's going to knock him out.
Billy? Mansur Abdul-Malik versus Old Dustin.
Yeah, I'm with Joey. I think this is a good bounce back spot here for Mansur Abdul-Malik. I feel like the fact that this fight is on the main card kind of tells you that this is a setup spot for Mansur Abdul-Malik. One of the projects that Eric Nixick has really taken his careful time on has been Mansur Abdul-Malik. He thought he was a finished product until he got finished by Gore in his last one. But that isn't really a stock down at all. If anything, I think it's time to catch the Mansur Abdul-Malik stock before it goes back up, and it's being priced as so. And if you look at Dustin Stoltzfus, bro's going 3-7 in the UFC and hasn't shown any wrinkles in his game outside of some grappling upside. The placement of this fight on the main card gives me a feeling that we're supposed to see a Mansur Abdul-Malik knockout here, so that's what I'm going to be betting.
Yeah, like you look at that, and I almost think it might even could be wider. Like I think if Abdul-Malik wins how I think he might, he's gonna look like -1,000. Now again, I had old KG to knock Stoltzfus' head off. He almost did. I think Mansur, I've been on record that I think he's half joking about him running a gambling syndicate. I think he's a swindler. He's got a rainbow colored record on Tapology. He's a sketchball to me as far as like trying to get cute with method of victory. But again, it's like I almost think that line should be like -850 or something. I don't know. I'm not crazy for thinking that, man. I don't know. So again, what the fuck is this fight?
This is what Orolbai's line should be. How Orolbai went from -650 to 1,000. Mansur should be -660 to 1,000.
Yes, this is where that fight should be too. They need to switch positions in the card and fucking like money lines. They need to just flip position. Like, what is this fight doing so high on the cards? This is insane. And again, thinking about that like out loud, it's like, yeah, it's probably to see Mansur get a highlight reel knockout. If you're putting he damn well better if you can put it that fucking high.
Yeah.
But shout out to Millz in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate all the jewels being blessed. Thanks for blessing us here in the chat with all the jewels. What I mean. Next fight. Right, everybody went.
Yeah.
Can't remember who went first, but whoever didn't. Fernandez. Actually, Billy. Fernandez, Jalen Turner.
Yeah, a little bit convicted here on this one. I feel like the public is kind of discrediting Fernandez, not thinking that he's legit, but he's trying to extend his fight win streak to 4 this weekend. And this is a step up of competition on paper, taking on Jalen Turner, who's a potent finisher, always the taller and longer fighter against his opponents. His concerns are more mental side of things as he retired from the sport, claimed that God brought him back to the sport. And when he looked for guidance for the next step of his life, God told him to come back to fighting, and he ended up getting Edson Barboza, and that was a guy gifted matchup, and he treated him as he was supposed to. Move up. I don't know, man. This is just like a complete stylistic change, though, where we could see if Turner's here for the long game or not. And in hindsight, this line could look like free money on Fernandez. I like Fernandez here. I feel like he's really well-rounded. He has the high work rate. He has the leg kicks to chop down a tall tree like Jalen Turner, and he has some grappling chops himself. I feel like those are all the things that you want to see when you're betting on an underdog, and the fact that this fight gets moved up higher on the card makes me like the underdog more. This is like my underdog pick of the week.
I'm talking on mute like just a silly ass dude. Yeah, I love the energy, Billy. I love the conviction. Joey DFS. You think you can match that? Featured fight, Coco.
Sure. I don't know if I can feature it, but I know one thing I sure can do. I can sure agree with Billy here because I absolutely love Fernandez right here in this fight. Who knows how Jalen Turner is really going to look? He fought a 40-something-year-old, probably 50 in fight years, 60 years in fight years with Barboza, and the second he touched Barboza in that fight, Barboza knew he didn't want to be in there. Man, one thing that I really do like from Fernandez, he throws kicks with fucking intentions, and Jalen Turner got them little twig legs, and I think them legs are going to get hurt. I think Fernandez is going to come in with good combinations. I feel like he's even live to knock Jalen Turner the fuck out bad with something. So, yeah, Fernandez is my favorite dog on the card.
Well, boys, I hate to do it. I'm going to break this bubble here. I'm gonna burst the bubble. I'm going to break up the echo chamber. I feel like we've said this a few times on this fight card. I think this is a level spot. I think there is a marked level of competition difference and experience for Jalen Turner. I'm actually, that money line looks very, very parlayable, but Jalen Turner's blacklisted. Big Show picks, I don't know. I don't know if I want to feel Big Show picks his wrath on this one, dude. Wrath's a sin, brother. Don't be Cain enabling me, but I don't know, man. What up, some? I don't know what I'm gonna do here, man. I kind of want to bet Jalen Turner. I think he stops Kyle. I think he clubs and subs, front chokes, knocks out, something like that. I do think Jalen Turner wins, but I don't know quite how I'm gonna play it because he's blacklisted. So maybe I don't play it at all. But
if you like, if you're on the list of Jalen Turner blacklisted, play the under. That's the way to play it. TC, take the under. If he wins, he's gonna win.
I mean, you're probably right. Probably you're right. But how much you want to talk about looking like a silly fucking dumbass, dude? If Turner blows this and slips on another banana peel, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. I might fucking leap out the window. I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. But yeah, like, again, this better fucking deliver. Featured fight on a big ass card like this. Jalen Turner, Kyle Fernandez. All right. Shout out to Millz. He says the amount of people who lost money, it's fuck Turner. He is kind of mean. So why I haven't heard you talk about.
Wait, can I throw some dirt on top of this?
Sure.
This is the exact reason why me and Joey are not in attendance in Philadelphia this weekend. People tell me, "Oh, you're not going to come to the UFC. It's the first time the UFC has been in Philly since 2019." Nigga, did you look at the card? Like, it's like I'm gonna make money on it for betting, but bro, this is not something you want to pay over $300 for to be inside the attendance for. I'm gonna be at the Sixers games.
Bro, if it won't for the main and co-main, this is a fight night card, boys.
Yeah.
We know it is. We see these cards every fucking week as just a regular ass fight night card. Insanity, but the big 26, you know what you're going to do. Here we go, man. Here we go. Shout out to Aaron the dog. Shout out Red. I'm going to make mine short and sweet. This one here is gang related, so to speak. Red is a friend of a friend. She is the homie. That is the bet. I get why Mackenzie Dern's favored, but she doesn't have a great takedown defense either. She gets taken down a lot. She plays jiu-jitsu a lot. I think it depends on who ends up on top. If Red is the one that ends up on top, I think she wins. If it's Mackenzie, she wins. So give me the underdog here, though, man. Fuck it. I mean, yeah, betting Red. I got her plus 186, and that is the bet. That is the pick. Joey DFS.
So if you told me this was the main event for a fight night card, I'm like, okay, for a fight night card, maybe I'll consider going. If that was the case, you should have took this fight night card to Atlantic City. Then I definitely would have been there. I would have had my room booked, ticket booked, and I would have been straight for it. But man, like I actually switched picks on this fight a couple times, and I'm gonna stick with what my original gut was, and yeah, I'm going Mackenzie Dern. I love Gillian. She's a good fighter. She's dangerous as shit.
Dern hasn't had ice cream in a while. She looks fantastic.
Jeez.
Yeah, like God damn. I know Bobby Green's right, but one thing you notice, she's fought a bunch of old fighters. Lemos, old. Rodriguez, old. Pinheiro sucked. Waterson out of her prime. Viana, I don't even need to go there with Viana. That was Viana's one of the easiest parlayable pieces to go against. So, man, like I think Dern's striking has improved throughout the years. I think Her boxing combinations can really give Gillian issues. And shit, maybe her take defense ain't that good because she welcomes the grappling. She's not a bum on the ground either way. So, but I do agree with you. Who could end up on top first can definitely get some good key winning moments for this fight. But I'm going and still Mackenzie Dern.
Billy, my dude, co-main event, break the tie, my friend.
Yeah, I had to re-handicap this fight. I was talking about this on the live stream last week about sometimes, and this is a prime example of one of these fights, you really just have to just look at the fight for what it is and not look at the price tag type of thing. Because like when you throw price into it and you put a minus and a plus in this fight, it kind of makes you lean towards the Gillian Robertson side or like play a Gillian Robertson play. But in reality, when you kind of film this, I think Mackenzie Dern is a little bit better everywhere, like a little bit better of a striker, a little bit better of a BJJ artist. Gillian Robertson is probably a little bit better of a wrestler, and just overall, as the price tag keeps on coming down, it's actually creating value on Mackenzie Dern. Where like I think I'm going to play submission or decision on Mackenzie Dern. That submission or decision price tag line is going to fall inside the same exact bucket as Juliana Miller and Alexa Thayanara from last week. So I think I'm going to go back to the well here, and I think and still.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really like push back too much. Like stylistically, yes, you can like look at each category. Okay, pure grappling, probably Mackenzie Dern. Pure striking, Mackenzie probably hits harder. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get that. But again, I do think the value on Gillian is if Mackenzie is not prioritizing takedown defense, because I'm pretty confident that old Red is going to be like, let's grapple, bitch. Like, let's grapple. I'm going to end up on top. And I think if Robertson's on top and Mackenzie's just playing jiu-jitsu, I mean, we've seen Mackenzie, she don't exactly wear damage too well. She busts up pretty easy, and she doesn't have great defense. So, like,
can I ask you a question real quick, DC?
No, you can't.
What do you think this is lined at a 3-round fight? You think it's falling the same?
Let me ask you, because I honestly don't know.
I would actually like Gillian a little more in a 3-round fight. 5-round fight, I'm definitely kind of leaning.
1,000%, bro. That's not even if ands or buts about it. Mackenzie Dern just fought a 5-round fight. Like what?
Yeah,
why wouldn't you be able to?
I would lean a little heavier on Dern. I haven't picked yet, but I would probably be on the Dern side. I'd be looking to try to get the same game parlay, Dern and over fucking 5.5 minutes, 4.5 minutes, something like that.
Right. And I mean, I think the criticism on Gillian is fair too. But you know,
love Gillian though. Love her though. Love
Gillian. Gillian is one of the most entertaining female fighters that I've ever watched throughout all my times of watching female MMA. She's one of the dopest fighters to follow on Instagram. One of the most humble fighters. One of the most wholesome, and dangerous fighters.
She's beaten a lot of the people that are Mackenzie's best wins too, which is why I think the fight should be lined a little bit closer. Like, they both have wins over.
Throw the line out of it. You got to throw the line out of it. It's not like it's minus 500 and like plus 300. It's basically 2 to 1.
I get it, but I'm just saying, like, it's not like Gillian is losing to all these people and Mackenzie's beating him. Actually, Gillian has a win over Marina Rodriguez, and she whooped the fuck out of Mackenzie. So, you know, I know it was Marina at different times, but. Again, let's see what the chat's saying, man. I think this is a good co-main. This is one of the only fights that makes this card really worth it. I gotta scroll back up here. Let's see. Shout out Nunya. He said Stoltzfus made his debut on Dana White Contender Series. Solution said if this fight stops in the first round, Dern either subbed or ground and pounded out Gillian. I think it could be the opposite being true too. I think Gillian could land some ground and pound on Mackenzie. Red said, I don't see how anyone can make a difference on either of them striking because both of their it's not good striking from either, honestly. None said need an update on Dern. Solution said thoughts on Red plus points. You mean like plus 3.5 or something like that?
Don't take it. Don't take it.
No.
Don't bet that shit. Because I'm telling you, this is like some Matias Gamrot Salkill type shit. You bet the plus 5.5.
You're gonna want 7.5 or something. You're gonna want 7.5 or 9.5 on that one.
Bro, the submission variance is way too high in the co-main event fight to be betting any fucking overs of like, bro, Gillian Robertson gets on top of Mackenzie Dern. Shit could be nuts. And if Mackenzie Dern gets the back of Gillian Robertson in some type of entanglement in jiu-jitsu, that shit could be wraps. I would not want to bet no fucking overs in the co-main event.
For sure, man. For sure. Well, Billy, we done made it all the way to the main event, my dude. Islam, Ian Machado. What do you think, Bo? And Gabe wanted to do some bull riding again.
I'll summarize this by saying I love Ian Garry. I think this will be one of Islam Makhachev's more closer fights. But the problem that I'm having of getting over the hump is I just don't think Ian Garry has just that power just to stop Islam Makhachev. What makes this fight so intriguing is that Islam Makhachev, we've seen him kind of just coast in fights of recent and really use his grappling. In this fight against Ian Garry's so comfortable fighting off of his back foot that Islam Makhachev has to go forward. If he does not go forward in this fight, Islam Makhachev will lose this fight. If he goes forward in this fight, he's going to be able to strike. He's going to be able to get the takedowns. And he's probably going to be able to win a decision. Ian Garry's tough enough to stay in there for 5 rounds. So that's my pick. Islam Makhachev by decision. This would be the underdog of like the big ones that you bet the +5.5 on.
Joey DFS. UFC 330 main event. Islam Makhachev, defending champ. Ian Machado Garry. Does he have a chance, or does Islam just continue his fucking reign?
Look, I remember picking Ian Garry versus Shavkat Rakhmonov, and everyone and their mama thought I was crazy, and he almost submitted Shavkat. But this ain't Shavkat. This is Islam Makhachev. What up, boys? What's up? Dabby? Dabby in the building. Shit. Like, everything in me wanted to see Ian Garry maybe win this fight, but I don't see it personally. I don't even think Ian Garry's going to do his full game plan. If you watch Gary's fights, one thing he does like to do in fights, no matter who he is, he likes throwing that one little leg chop kick to your knee. And I don't think he's going to throw many kicks in this fight because I think Islam is very capable of catching those legs, working in some trip-type takedowns, and I got to go and still, but it wouldn't shock me if somewhere in this fight, I think Islam can get dominant position to the back and get a finish.
Well, I'm gonna throw a leg kick, chop kick, shout out to old Dabby Cabby, man. Shout out Dabby Cab. Make sure y'all check out the sesh, 12 noon Eastern on Pub. Dabby Cab, Dutch Boy Fresh, Chappy Funk. Shout out to them, man. You can also find Dabby on Betting the Diamond, excuse me, with a rotating cast of characters, I feel like, on Saturday morning. 10 a.m. On Pub. Eamon, what up? Who's winning, Ian or Islam? Well, we talking about it right now. You let us know who you think is going to win. I am on Islam Makhachev here. I think that, yes, Ian Garry is good fighting on the back foot, but Islam, either way, I feel like he's maybe not got Garry beat on pure striking, but he's not a mark on the feet. And so I think Garry has to respect that. Like, he can't just like throw caution to the wind and be like, all I have to do is stop the takedown. Before you know it, you can eat a head kick. Islam is not a punk on the feet. He does have a little bit of pop. And I just think he's too strong, man. I think he's too strong. And I think that, you know, Garry, he's been like, he gets outstruck and then he out grapples. He's not going to be able to default to that here against Islam. Like, that's going to go really bad for him. So I just feel like kind of no matter which way he goes, he's fucked. This is a fight where I kind of feel like Islam has him just about everywhere except, but I mean, you can say durability even maybe for Garry, but like he's been hurt a few times. Like he almost got slept by Sankanon. I know Islam's been stopped before too, but that was kind of flashy and fluky. So I don't know, man. Give me the champ here and still -340 again. It's like if I'm throwing a 4-legger together, maybe Islam, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling when I close my eyes and think about it, I feel like it's going to be an Islam sub. But I don't hate the decision either. I think Millz said decision earlier. Billy, I think you said it too. I don't hate that, man. Eamon says Ian with a decision. Solution says old front choke, old Darce. Yeah, I think I could see that. I could definitely see that, man. Give me Makhachev by submission. Again, might have him in one parlay. I don't know, man. But let us know what y'all think in the chat, man. And that will actually do it. We made it through the whole card. UFC 330. Joey DFS. Final thoughts for the people. Anything you want to shout out, man? Now's the time.
Yeah, sure will. My final hot take for that main event, I'll make it quick, is I know Islam is trying to get that win over Gary to pass Anderson Silva with the most consecutive UFC wins. Not only do I think he does that, but hot take, I know everyone's saying, oh, about Michael Morales. I don't see that fight happening. Don't be surprised if once he beats Ian Garry, if Islam possibly retires after this fight. He's past Anderson Silva's record. What else does he need to prove? So I think don't be shocked if he does it.
I can't even joke about that, Justin. That would be against the promise that I made before God and under the laws of man. It's also fucking illegal. I love my wife and I would never cheat on her, but I know you're just joking. Godfather, what up, dude? I appreciate you, man. Appreciate that. Billy, final thoughts for the people. And thanks once again, my friend.
Silver and gold. We've been running it up. I don't even have the numbers right in front of me, but you can look in silver and gold UFC tab yourself, and you're going to see check. Not only from me, but from him and him. So hit the like, subscribe so we can do it all again.
Well said. Well said. Shout out to you, Big Show, man. Thank you for all the hard work you do. Swig, appreciate them graphics there. And yeah, man, check out all the shows on Pub. Check out the full slate we have for you guys, man. Got Dana White Contender Series up and roaring, and we'll be back with that next week. And appreciate everybody that stopped through, man. Smash the like, get subscribed. Silver and gold, man. Any sport you want. NFL coming up. All kinds of shit, man. So, yeah, join us. And thanks once again. And once again, I cannot thank y'all enough. Pub Sports MMA every fucking day. Catch you on the next one. Peace.